All right, welcome back to Close Up. This morning, a focus on the state's deadly opioid epidemic. Recently, Governor Chris Sununu proposed adding more state police troopers to stop the drugs as they come into New Hampshire via Massachusetts. This after the governor created a bit of a dust-up by publicly saying that most of the opioids that are sold on Granite State streets come by way of Lawrence, something the mayor there took exception to, but the point was taken. Here now to discuss the state police role in the opioid crisis is the head of the state police, Colonel Christopher Wagner, and Sergeant Mark Hall. Gentlemen, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so let's start with this because, you know, for a lot of the last couple of years, we haven't talked a lot about where these drugs are coming from. How much of it, by your estimation, Colonel, is coming from Massachusetts?
Most of it is coming from Massachusetts, and we recognize that value. The governor recognizes that value, and we're working very closely with our cross-border departments, Mass State Police, and other authorities across the state to really address this issue collaboratively as a group effort.
Is that a newer relationship, or has that been more ongoing than we might assume?
No, you know, we work very closely with our partners, certainly in the New England states, local communities, both in the state and out of state. So it's not a new initiative, but certainly it's going to be refined as we move forward.
Sergeant Hall, you're kind of a boots on the ground when it comes to this type of thing, and the governor is obviously is proposing funding for, I think, 5 more state troopers to police the borders. How do you go about doing that, just strategically?
Well, strategically, we already have. There's 3 of us out there right now that are currently doing that, and we're just looking to kind of beef up those numbers. And strategically, we're looking to interdict, you know, those drugs before they enter the communities. That's the first line of defense, so to speak, that we can try and have an impact before they actually reach those towns and cities.
Sure. So how do you identify a possible vehicle that might be coming across the border that you suspect could be a courier for drugs?
Well, the troopers that are part of this unit are highly trained and skilled in identifying, you know, those individuals that are involved in all kinds of criminal activity, but in particular trafficking drugs into the, you know, on our highways.
So what are we picking up here? What kind of numbers? Are we seeing an increase in some of the seizures?
Oh, absolutely. We're seeing that. We know the numbers, and we know those seizures or the volume is coming across those transportation routes. And we are going to work. We're working very closely behind the scenes too, certainly. So, you know, Sergeant Hall's enforcement team is certainly the public-facing side. Sure. For public safety on this. But certainly we're working behind the scenes with our investigative units to kind of drive intelligence, right? And we need to deconflict information between the 2 states and make sure that the resources that we have on the ground, we're using those most efficiently, right? We have limited resources, certainly on our end, and not speaking for Mass side, but all law enforcement is taxed today with trying to drive that public safety message. So we want to make sure that the boots that we have on the ground and the resources that we have behind the scenes are working together. They're talking with one another. We're deconflicting, and we're making sure that we're putting these resources to good work.
Sure, and we could always use more resources, but talk about the importance of the collaboration also with the border towns and the local police chiefs there.
Yeah, absolutely, and undoubtedly we're not going to do this alone. As we embark on this endeavor across the border, we need to be mindful of the fact that, you know, these the drug dealers are clever and they're opportunists, and certainly as we look to close in on these transportation routes, they'll look for alternative ways to deliver their products. So that's certainly going to affect offshoots off the main corridors that we understand the drug routes to be. So certainly this is going to take a local, city, state, federal approach to combat.
Now, when these drugs are coming across the border, in what form are they coming across? And either one of you gentlemen can answer this. Governor or Senator Hassan shined a light on a lot of these drugs, the ingredients coming through the U.S. mail. Is it a finished product by the time it gets to New Hampshire? Or is you got to kind of sniff out the ingredients per stop?
I would say it's ready to hit the street as soon as it crosses the borders. We're seeing larger and larger quantities coming from the south, coming north, but it's definitely packaged and ready for delivery out on the street.
Yeah, I mean, and these dealers, obviously, everybody keeps asking, well, how do these dealers keep popping back up again? Because once one is arrested, another one, you know, takes that place. And you talk about them also, you know, being creative in the ways that they're getting these drugs across here. What other areas are you looking at that could be enhanced as far as enforcement is concerned?
Well, listen. I mean, if you're talking about, if impaired driving, certainly, if you're looking kind of that angle, certainly, a lot of the seizures that we're making too, these people are also using it, right? And this is the problem here, that not only the drugs are killing our community in this state by the mere fact that of the deadly dose of fentanyl, but we also have a very large, major issue with users and the problems that come along with that as well. So we certainly are combating the safety on our highways with our drug recognition experts, our troopers that are recognized to detect impaired drivers that aren't necessarily impaired or influenced by alcohol, but all forms of other types of drugs as well. So we're combating it from a safety perspective that way as well.
And how important was it, Colonel, for the governor to make the statement that he did, saying, look, this is where it's coming from. Mayor of Lawrence might not like it, but we got to start talking about it. Was it important that he shined a light on this?
Well, listen, I think it's important that we recognize and identify the source locations of where this is coming from. And I'm not going to take a position that it's any one particular city. Sure. I think what's important is we recognize that that Massachusetts and New Hampshire both have an epidemic on their hands with the opioids, and I think it's important for the public to recognize that their law enforcement on both sides of the border are committed, both at the state, the local, and the federal level, to deal with this together, and it's certainly a partnership that the public should be proud about, and we are also proud about that fact, because listen, our communities are dying. This has a very negative impact to the state, to state business. It's ruining families. It's affecting our youth, and it's something we really have to target. And we're doing it in a holistic viewpoint.
Sure. And you talked about the federal government. Is there the same sort of recognition, the urgency, when you're dealing with the federal government and the DEA? Do they recognize the situation that we face here?
Oh, absolutely. They are as committed and as strong as partners as we are with this, and it's a full court press from all levels of branches of law enforcement.
And from a state police standpoint, most people would assume that it is just the enforcement arm, but you guys are active in a lot of different areas, whether it's education, identifying the users, because without the demand, you're not going to have the supply.
Yeah. Like I said, we are forward-facing. The public safety is the uniformed trooper, and they're conducting those motor vehicle stops, and they're physically interrupting the transportation in those drug routes. But a lot of that is driven by intelligence and information that we have, certainly. And so it's what you physically see and what you don't see in fighting this.
Let me ask you about that, Sergeant Hall. I mean, obviously you must see a lot of things, and we all certainly respect the work that you guys do. But as a human being, you must see some things that are kind of tough to swallow, and really, shines a light on just how serious this problem is.
It really is. I mean, we see it every day from the police standpoint, but these are families. It's not all about the criminal element all the time. There are families that are being affected by it, as the Colonel said. They're affecting our youth, and they're tearing apart communities and families all around our state and throughout the country. But it is tough to see when people are at their worst because they're affected by this issue.
And Colonel, if there's one message that you want to leave people with this morning as you guys continue your work out there, this isn't a fight that's going to go away anytime soon, but what do you want people to know about state police and their efforts?
We want the public to be reassured that their local police, as we work with them, their state police, and our relationships with the federal government and our cross-border law enforcement communities are doing everything that we possibly can to keep them safe. That we will not rest. We've got strong plans in place. As you can see, the governor is very committed to the safety of New Hampshire. He is committing resources, and he's serious, and we are serious about combating this issue and addressing it to keep our people safe.
Well, you guys are on the job. We certainly all appreciate the work that you do. Stay safe out there.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.